Everyone, it's probably going to be good evening by the time I get this edited. This is going to be episode 1 of Tex's Garage. I'm your host Lewis, and today we are working on my friend's 1976 C3 Corvette Stingray. It's just to the right of me here. I'll give you a quick rundown of what we're doing. Basically, we bought the car yesterday. It ran okay, wasn't great, needed a tune-up. About 3 hours into driving it, we developed a rod knock. So today I said to my friend, hey, let's not get down, let's not get sad about it, let's just fight back and get the engine ready to pull. So today I'm going to make a start on that. He's going to be coming over later on, so you will see him. He's a great guy. So today you're going to watch me struggle and strain trying to get an engine ready to pull. Well, bonnet open now, let's go. Right. The one helpful thing about these is the bonnet opens backwards. So believe it or not, that actually helps a lot. We mustn't forget the bonnet covers. Bonnet covers, wing covers, or fender covers for all you American car enthusiasts. And Americans, although this will not get worldwide. All right. The long, awkward process of doing this in absolute silence. Right, so the first thing I want to do is get the air filter off. I want to get all the wiring out of the way. The thing is with these as well, well, this vehicle in particular, is I believe someone threw the wiring in here with a catapult. It is absolutely terrible. So I want to start by clearing all that out for a start, because that's all going to need to be redone, the HT lead and stuff like that. I look like an extra in Ghost right now. So I'm going to start pulling that wiring. There's a few things I said to my friend that need to be done to this car. Nothing's detrimental, it's just a lot of the stuff has been routed poorly and stuff like that. It's not necessarily, it's time, it's just, no, not necessarily money, it's just time. So we're going to do that, you know, like people have just routed hoses wrong and, you know, poor maintenance, which is something I don't believe in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the responsible thing and just start pulling all the HT leads out, because this is all going to have to be set up again, and they are an absolute mess. They are all way too long. Before I dive in anymore, I'm going to disconnect the battery, which is behind the driver's or passenger seat, from what I remember. I've never worked on a Corvette before. I've never drove one, but I drove it yesterday and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm not actually a big fan of Corvettes, really. Not for any reason. Not for anything personal, nothing traumatic. It's just, they're just not my sort of thing. But if you like one, you've got my full support. All right. My hair is going to need a wash later. All these leads. All of these leads can go bye-bye. Oh, jeez. Look at this one. Could they have got a shorter one? Could they have got a shorter one? Whoa. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, leads are out. I've started unplugging the vacuum lines. That was something my friend, we were saying yesterday, my friend has never owned an American car, still looking like Ghost. He's never owned an American car, and he see all the vacuum lines and he was like, oh my god. And I said, look, we don't have to worry about any of that, but the wiring in this car is not very organised, and I love organised wiring in cars. I like it all to be nice and neat and not messed about with. So I said, while we've got the engine out, we might as well just do that. So what I'm going to keep doing now is I'm going to be just carrying on disassembling. I want to start taking off components. I'm going to take off the alternator next. Start disconnecting the fuel line. That's another thing I said to him, because a lot of this had to be gone through anyway. So I said to him, well, rather than, I said, like, you know, we can do all the stuff as we go. So it's not it's not so bad. I know it's annoying for him because it wasn't what we expected, but sometimes you just have to say, no, I'm gonna fight back. And that's what we're doing. Oh, carburetor. Nope. Carb don't want to come off. What? Right. Let's disconnect the fuel though before we end up yanking that halfway across the road. Wow. Nothing fits. Is it one of them awkward boys? Is it one of them? Is it one of them? I'm so rounded off. I don't want to come off with any metric or imperial. Damn right. So, I'm going to ramble while this is running. So basically, this little workshop that we're in, I built this in lockdown. Oh, petrol. I built this in lockdown, and it's been great. It's been so handy. I used to work out of I didn't have a garage really. I had a shack. And it was just a shack in the shape of a garage. And basically, it's just, I remember, it's been great. I'm getting all muddled up, it's been great. But I remember the stress when I was building it, and it was really, really, you know, I had a builder that was letting me down, and yeah, it was just one of them, it was just an annoying time. It was an annoying time, says myself about my head in the shop. Whoa, the smell of gas. And you know, I was halfway through it, and it was just, I think, the floor had just been done, it was like half a wall, and I was like, man, I just want to give up, you know, I should never have done this. I've spent like £10,000 at the time, at least, and, you know, what have I got, you know, and I've done a lot of thrifting, you know, and my dad used to always say, you know, it will be done, you know, you just got to keep going, and you know, you think, oh man, I hate you, you're full of shit, you know. He was right. And I'm trying, and I passed that lesson on to my good friend. I said, you know, like, let's not, you can't willow, you just got to get things done. And I suppose that's for most things in life, you know, as tough as it does seem. Yeah, so this had a quadrajet on it originally. I asked the guy yesterday, now we've gone from rambling to car rambling. This has got this originally would have had a Rochester quadrajet on it. I did ask him about this, and he couldn't remember what carb it was. It was a typical trailer thing, you know. Oh yeah, I can't remember. He did. So, well, it needs a new gasket. It's got the wrong gasket on it for a start, which is great. So that's good. It's got the wrong gasket. All right. Well, that ain't going to help it with performance. So basically, for anyone that doesn't know, oh wow, he's even bolted it to the floor. So for anyone that doesn't know, while my invisible self is out of shot, if you're interested, a Rochester quadrajet carburetor is a 4-barrel carb, and a lot of people don't like them because they're hard to tune, and they are. I had one, and also they don't remake them. They don't remake them now. So all the ones that you get are old stock or restored carburetors, you know, the original ones. But the problem is the body's inside. It's the interiors, the inserts that can warp, and obviously that can cause issues down the road. And once they're broke, you know, you can never get them to tune right. You can never really get them to run right. So That's the only shame thing about them. They was good carbs, but in my experience, personally, I like them on the... They have two small butterflies at the front, the primaries, and the secondaries are massive. The CFM is way too high, normally, because of the CFM. There's a guy on YouTube, if you're watching this, you would have seen, obviously, all the good channels. Now you're at the junk pile. His name is Uncle Tony's Garage, and he's my sort of guy. But he explains how like, fuel bowls are small, they're too small, you know, and I can personally say, yeah, I experience that. You put your foot down and it sounds lovely, it's got that old 70s go, and then about a second later it's sputtering and dying. So that's no good, no good. Alright. Oh dear, coughing. Well, the first thing he's done that I actually like what he's done, he's blanked off the EGR ports and the exhaust crossover. I like that. I like that a lot. It simplifies things. So it appears to be the original manifold. I can't see anything sly there. The car says it's done 43,000, but the 4 and 3 don't quite line up. So that means it's done 143, which is it's a 50-year-old car. I'm not objecting to that, and it's a nice car, so I can understand why someone would want to drive it 143,000 miles. Alright, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take off the throttle plate, the throttle cable plate, or the kickdown plate, rather, excuse me. The kickdown plate, where someone has excellently put in the kickdown cable. Alternator next, fan, take off the pump, the power steering pump, and then drain the water, drain the antifreeze. Something I noticed when we was driving it yesterday was the belt kept making a really bad squeal, but the belt wasn't loose. I checked all that, but when I've had a look properly, because I don't care what anyone says, you can't really look on the side of the road, you know, when you're trying to buy, you know, you can only look at so much, and you're trying to look at engine body, you know, and you're trying to do all that in, not haste, but you're trying to get it all done. And what I have noticed is that the belt is slightly out of line. The water pump is sitting too far back, so that needs to be shimmed. Nothing major, nothing cost effective, but just something that we need to do. I think it's a good job that we're actually tearing into it. You know, it sounds really bad, but I actually think really it's a good thing that it's knocking, because I don't want to see that happen to anyone. But I think it's a good thing, because it kicks the project into hyperspeed, so that we can say, right, bang, let's get, you know, all the bits perfected on it, you know. I don't see the point in why people bother with these sort of things when they don't know what they're doing. I'm all for hobbies, you know, giving it a go, but not just full on bodging things and messing things about. You know, like, someone's routed, there's wires under this cover. They've got them rolling all around the place, like a roller disco, when the guides for the wires are on the wing. Go fish, or whatever the term is. Little handy tip here. It's not a halo, that's just a light. It helps. Little tip for anyone. Oil filter pliers are not just for oil filters, they are super handy. I'm taking off the fan pulley now, and I took the belts off because I've taken the alternator off. Yeah, it can be good practice to do it while it's all together, but with the way that the alternator was routed, it was just awkward. So I was like, hey, I'm going to do it this way. And obviously you need to hold the pulley to undo the nuts. So this is how I've done it. So a £6 or $9 set of oil filter pliers can be used for so much more. We are having to get creative with the angles here. I've literally got you chopped up on a piece of wood at an angle because my tripod that was a whopping £8 does not have the proper tilt function. Who would have thought? Alright, So now I've got pretty much most. Oh dear, I'm dropping the microphone. Alright, okay, so now I've got most of the front stuff taken off. I need to drain the coolant, and I need to undo the power steering setup from the engine, and do the bell housing bolt, and a couple of other bits and pieces on the other side, but I'm going to try and work on this side as much as I can, and then I will go over. Right, so we're now under the car. I'm not going to bore you with it because it's been very boring. Exhausts are off, they was quite easy to get undone. Engine mount bolts I've undone, but I've left them in place because on these cars they don't have a full K member or cross member. So that can be quite scary when you're underneath it with no engine bolts in. So I've left them in. Once I've got some tension off of the crane, I will be taking them out. All I've got to take out now is the last torque converter bolt and the starter motor. We left those in because we was doing a compression test. So that's it. Okay, so we're now finally ready to get the engine to pull out. Pull out! This is my friend Matt. This is the owner of the car. We didn't get it all done in one day due to the fact that one of our friends had the pull plate, the lift plate, to take the engine out. But while we had the free time, the passenger door wouldn't open, so we got that done. We got the mechanism working and the lock, so time wasn't wasted. Right, let's get the crane in place.
Okay.
Cool. Snagging on anything?
We just snagged on the back corner there.
What's still on the bed?
On the bed housing, yeah. I've got to come around that side.
What, a bolt undone?
No, it's not bolt, it's just where the pin's coming out. You can see it's because it's twisted this way.
What are we got? What are we got on?
It's the bell housing, but it's not actually cold. If you look, it's sort of leaned up a little bit. There we go.
That's it. We've just got to break things. You can let that go now. No power steering, we're not taking you with us today.
What do you want me to get?
Sorry, hang on. Right, we need to
whack the servo. That's it.
clear.
Clear. Ah, we've still got cable.
It's alright.
Release that throttle.
Kick down, I think. One or two. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah, I'm just pushing it back from the.
Alright?
Yeah, I'm just getting stuff out of the way. Well,
Right. Right. I'm not going to go no higher than I need to.
you need to go higher than this stuff. To see the pan.
No, I'm just looking, I want to come round. Right. That'll do. Can you come round and stabilise? It's like as I'm shaking, it's going to want to jolt.
Yeah. Just, I'd get a tiny bit more because of that. Where the wing rail is there.
Mate, you've got loads of clearance.
Right.
Right, now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to leave this in the air and go for lunch, alright, while it's swinging. Okay, so the block is now out. That concludes episode 1 of the Corvette engine rebuild and slight overhaul. Join us for part 2. We're going to be stripping this down and diagnosing what's wrong with it. Meanwhile, Matt is going to be doing some interior pieces, is that right? Bit of interior.
Taking the heater matrix out.
Heater matrix as well. So that's that. Thank you ever so much for watching. I apologise for the audio in certain places. It's not going to be very good. We had some issues. So yeah, thanks for bearing with us on that. If you liked the video, give a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, put a thumbs down. Tell me what you think I could do better. As always, because I'm going to be doing loads of these videos, thank you for watching. Consider subscribing. See you in the next one.